Namaste everyone. My name is Sandistha Anand and my co-author is Avijeet Verma. We are both from the Dallas area of Texas. I will present a talk on our paper of Sushruta. Specifically, the topic is, did the world miss out on recognizing Sushruta? We will evaluate it based on his achievements and contribution to the field of medicine. Sushruta qualifies to be called something other than the father of surgery as he is currently known. So some of the brief contents of today's presentation is that we're going to present some information on Hippocrates, the recognized father of medicine. We will then share our findings on Sushruta, an ancient Indian physician and surgeon. We will also study the time period that he was around. Additionally, we will present our research on his source of knowledge. We will then list his achievements and finally conclude what we learned about him. Per historians, the corpus of works under his name, called Corpus Hippocratum, has 60 different texts. These 60 texts in the corpus are authored by 19 different persons, and zero of the works inside the Corpus Hippocratum are believed to have been authored by Hippocrates. Furthermore, modern historians now have reason to believe that the works were incorrectly filed under Hippocrates' name merely due to convenience. It was easier for the world to attribute the knowledge to a known face, rather than give credit to a faceless team of authors. No verifiable or concrete evidence exists regarding the time period of his existence, and what is commonly stated by some historians about him being from the 4th to 5th century CE is pure conjecture. Some historians believe his character was made up to fit into the image of what an ideal physician should be, rather than what the real Hippocrates actually was. This is an imaginary depiction we found on the web about what Sushruta and his hospital may have looked like. So Sushruta is known as the father of Indian surgery, father of rhinoplasty, and also referred to by some as the father of Indian medicine. We will evaluate if his achievements were major enough that he should have been given more credit than his achievements merely being localized to India. Did his contributions affect the world? Besides this, Sushruta's time period is very relevant to recognizing his achievements. His Samhita has been translated and incorporated into many works in the past. In the 8th century CE, Sushruta Samhita was translated into Arabic, and this translation was known as Kitab-i-Susrud. The corpus of his works, known as Sushruta Samhita, was the first available to the modern world via the Bauer manuscript found in Turkestan in 1890. It is written in Sanskrit using the Gupta Brahmi script, which first made the historians assume it was from the 4th century CE, the supposed date of the Gupta period, which is now believed to be a faulty date also. Based on similarity of the description of breastbones in the Sushruta Samhita and the Satpatha Brahmana, historians later assumed the date of Sushruta Samhita to be the same as that of the Satpatha Brahmana. Now, it is very interesting that at the time the Satpatha Brahmana was incorrectly assumed to be from 600 BCE. It is now very clearly known that the correct dating of the Satpatha Brahmana is 3rd millennium BCE and not 600 BCE. So far, we have seen that Sushruta's works were cited in a Brahmana in the 3rd millennium BCE. This should not automatically date Sushruta Samhita merely to 3000 BCE. It is so easily possible that Sushruta Samhita is much older than the Brahmana and was merely cited in this 3rd millennium document. The current modern English version of the Sushruta Samhita is on the left. On the right is a copy of Sushruta Brahmana preserved in tree bark, probably 1,500 years old. One copy is displayed at a museum in Los Angeles, while another such document also exists from 878 CE in a library in Nepal, a country located northeast of India. Evidence based on ancient Shastras are a bit roundabout. First piece of evidence, Sushruta Samhita mentions Sushruta was the son and favorite student of Divodas, a prominent doctor and teacher of medicine. Second piece of evidence, Garuda Purana does not mention Sushruta, but mentions Vishwamitra, Madhuchanda, Devarata, and a family physician Divodas and his Atmaja, which means someone dear to him, which obviously refers to Sushruta. Third piece of evidence, Mahabharata mentions Vishwamitra, Madhuchanda, Devarata, and Sushruta, who according to Mahabharata even predates the Great Mahabharata War. Therefore, the odds of Sushruta Samhita, Garuda Purana, and the Mahabharata being the same person are very high. Based on this evidence, Sushruta was possibly from 5 to 7 millennia ago. This very ancient dating of Sushruta makes his contributions even more significant, considering the rest of the world was not known to be this advanced medically, especially that long ago. The British Medical Journal in 1913 called Sushruta a fake copy of Hippocrates. This is an uninformed statement, especially since Sushruta easily predated an imaginary Hippocrates. We are not calling Hippocrates or his existence imaginary. We are merely pointing out that the work credited to Hippocrates was imaginary. We will look at Sushruta's work and evaluate if he was a fake copy of Hippocrates, or if Sushruta was the real deal. Before that, we will look into what is known about medical knowledge that existed before Sushruta to get an idea for the source of some of his knowledge. While Sushruta made huge advancements in medical knowledge, he was continuing the tradition of medicine established by a long line of physicians. The Atharvana Veda, an ancient document, has a lot of documentation on medical knowledge in India. Maharishi Atreya and his 6 disciples each have sections they composed in the Atharvana Veda Samhita. Even the father of Ayurveda, Charaka, refers to the great contributions to medicine made by Maharishi Atreya and his 6 disciples. One disciple in particular, Agnivesha, is known to have contributed to Ayurvedic knowledge, which was cited in the Chakara Samhita, thus indicating that at least some of the medical knowledge in India was more ancient than even Sushruta. This directly challenges what history has told us so far about the oldest civilization in India being from only about 5 millennia ago, from the Saraswati Sindhu civilization. We will be only able to list a few key achievements in this talk. For a bigger list of Sushruta's achievements, please read our paper, and for even more achievements, please read the books and extensive literature on Sushruta's work as cited in our bibliography. Sushruta was quite possibly the world's first surgeon, and he studied by dissecting cadavers layer by layer. He learned to preserve cadavers inside of layers of grass, bark, flax, and dipped in water. He wrote extensively on the importance of surgery and elaborated different types of surgeries. Some scholars believe that the word surgery itself came from the Sanskrit word chirachiri. He published descriptions of over 300 bones, ligaments, and muscles. He developed the process to diagnose diseases and disorders. He used and documented over 125 surgical instruments, designs of some of which are still in use today. He wrote extensively on a guide for new nurses and doctors, and on how they should be selected and what codes of ethics and responsibilities they should be bound to, which would be similar to what is known today as the Hippocratic Oath. These areas of medicine that he practiced and wrote about in his Samhita are self-explanatory. Many of these were way before the first evidence of the discovery of these techniques anywhere in the world. And here are yet some more areas of medicine that Sushruta wrote about in his extensive Samhita. Imagine someone knowing about and writing about how to do facial surgery 5 to 7,000 years ago. His Samhita is a very extensive volume of works. Even today, not every remedy mentioned in the Sushruta Samhita has been decoded and taken advantage of. It is so unfortunate that a vast country like India has not dedicated enough resources to explore his works and extract useful information from it. Just a reminder that this list of his achievements that I have shown you so far is only a partial list. In 1794, British surgeons in India were shocked to see a kumbar, which is Indian word for potter, a person who makes pottery, do a perfect nose reconstruction on a bullock cart driver by the name of Kausaji. Kawasji's nose has been cut off by Tipu Sultan's soldiers. Previously, British surgeons were taking skin from the thigh or the cheek to repair missing noses, but they were failing due to lack of nerve and blood flow to the new grafted skin. The Indian flap, as the Brits call it, was based on Sushruta's writings and was known in India for many millennia to have worked miraculously. The reason it worked well for Indians, specifically, was due to the rich blood and nerve supply that was preserved by merely flipping live skin from the forehead onto the location of the nose. It appears that Sushruta, a great ancient Indian physician, contributed a huge amount to the knowledge in medicine. He inherited a large amount of knowledge from the Vedas, and through experimentation, advanced the existing knowledge base by leaps and bounds. It is unfortunate that knowledge about his work was lost for many millennia and remained hidden until recently. Given that Sushruta contributed so much, he is easily eligible to be called the father of medicine, surgery, plastic surgery, medical ethics, etc. He clearly predated Hippocrates, who is currently recognized as the father of medicine, in spite of not having authored any of his works incorrectly credited to him. Namaste, everyone, and thank you so much for listening to our presentation today.